Hi guys, my name is McKenzie and today I'm going to be teaching you how to bead a simple 5-petal flower. So you're going to want to start with 3 colors of your choice. I'm just showing you with yellow, pink, and like a dark pink. You're going to need a beading needle, beading thread. To thread your beading needle, you're going to start with a wingspan length full of thread. Once you have your thread cut, you're going to want to take it and tie a double knot, or just tie a knot twice to make a bigger knot so that it won't go through your needle. You're then going to want to thread your needle. Super easy, just like that, but it can be tricky if you're doing this for a while. Now you're ready to start. Now that we're ready to start, you grab your pattern and you're gonna want to start from the very middle. So I didn't mark the middle on this, so I kind of just like estimate where the middle is gonna be. That looks about centered to me. And you're gonna want to come up from the bottom. The white yarn, the thread is really hard to see, but I came up from the bottom. Now my knot's at the back. So from then, you have it all, you're secured in. You're gonna want to take one bead of the color that you would like to be your center. For this, I'm choosing yellow, and you're gonna want to pull it down. You can't even see it, but you're gonna want to pull that bead down to the very base where your thread is coming out. You're then gonna want to go in. So we made our hole here. We're gonna want to go in like a millimeter beside that hole that you last came out of, so that the bead is secure. So you're gonna want to pull that through. And now your bead is in the middle. So the way I was taught to bead, you have to tack it down. So you come back up right beside this little bead, and just simply, once you've gone through it a third time and you're up, once the bead's secure, you go through that bead to tack it down. And you're going to want to go through once more down into the back to really make sure that it's like secure. Another tip is, if you are working with a square, you can take your scissors, and your project is a circle. You can take your scissors and just cut a circle around your project so that your thread does not get caught on the edges of the square. This will make it easier for you in the long run. Trust me, it's a lifesaver. So now that we have our one bead, our starting bead, you're gonna want to come up again in the back, and you're gonna want to take 7 beads. Not all at once, because that can be a little confusing sometimes. So I'm gonna take 4 beads on my needle. And it should look like this. You're kind of gonna want to just see where those beads would come out of. So once they're on here, you're gonna want to like see how I just pushed it so I could see where the beads would lay. You're gonna want to go in right on the other side of the bead where you think it's gonna come in. So now it looks like this, but you can push it down and it kind of just does its own thing here. So you're going to want to push it down and to wherever it wants to fall. These beads are being very stubborn, and you're going to want to go in between all of them in the very middle, come up from the back, go in where you think the middle is going to be, and we're going to tack that down. So to tack it down on this row, once you come up, you just want to go right back down on the other side of that thread to tack down that thread. It kind of looks a little wonky right now, but trust me, in the end it's going to turn out. I always just come up right by where that first bead is, again, just to like go through them all, and then I go through the beads like this. This helps to straighten out your pattern. Like, this helps to make sure that your lines are all nice and crisp. See how that brought it all together? So now that we have that, we can move on to the rest of our little circle here. So I'm just gonna grab 3 beads, and I'm coming out of this so I can go in right beside that first bead, because these 3 beads are gonna complete our circle. Oh, so now we're gonna go in right beside that first bead that we put down on our second row, and we're gonna pull it through and see that our circle is formed. We still have to tack it down though, so you go in, find the middle, go in, come back up, and go right back down. So now we have our circle. I always like to go through my beads because, like I said, it straightens them all out, makes it seem more uniform. I'm gonna go through all of my beads the way I put them on. So I'm gonna go through 3 first, then I'm gonna go through the 4 beads that I put on first. So now I have my circle that can be used as the center of my flower. So now that we have our center circle done, our base center, we are going to go and do the same thing again around this, and we're back. So now that we have this center of our flower finished, we're gonna work on to outside of our petals. So this is what the back should look like. I'm gonna go up on one of the lines. It really doesn't matter which one it is, and you're gonna pick a color, the color that you would like for your outside bead. And on the outside beads, I always like to work in 3s because it's just easier for me to do it that way. So you lay your beads down, and instead of going in a circle, we're gonna go in a straight line. So go to where those beads fall. And for 3, I never really tack it down. I just go up and I go through them because this is the easiest way for me to do it. But you can tack it down if you would like. So you're gonna wanna go to, sometimes you have to bend it to see you want to go through your holes of your beads and make sure that everything is good and pull it tight. Now that I have a few petals finished, I'm going to show you how to do the inside. So really, it's just laying down beads in straight lines. So you're gonna want to take a few beads after you've come up from your back after finishing your outside. Always do the outsides first, but I'm just trying to make this tutorial short and easy to follow. So I'm pulling it through, finding as many beads as it would take roughly to cover my petal, and then I'm gonna go in on the other side and just have them laying like that and go through them. Like I said, I like to just go through them, but you can just tack them down if that's easier for you or if you think it's gonna be more secure. So I pull it tight and it's just a line. So after that, you're gonna go back down again like you have been this whole time. Go back up and just continue that all the way till you're finished your petal. Then once you're finished once you're finished all your petals, you're finished. You can add leaves if you would like to, but that's the way I learned, was just to do just the flower, and then after, if you would like to, you can add leaves and stuff. But I think that this is the easiest way to learn how to bead and begin beading. So once you're all the way filled in, you're finished your flower, and you're just gonna want to take a pair of scissors or an X-Acto knife and go from the back. You can see where your thread is, and it might be a little bit difficult if you're using white thread versus black thread on a white surface. So you're gonna want to cut or use an X-Acto knife, cut out your flower, and then you're finished. You can sew it on to something, you can glue it onto something, you can make it on a vamp, you can really do whatever. But this is how you bead. I want to thank you guys for watching so much, and I hope that your flowers turn out amazing, and I'm sure you guys are all gonna kill it. Thank you. Bye.